And good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mustang Arena. Thanks for your patience while we got the audio set up. Starting a little earlier than usual today. 5:30 start for our season opener. This is the Edgewater Eagles versus the Wekiva Mustangs. And we're going to get a basket by Destiny Pryor. Jana Beecham had the previous basket for the Mustangs. One foul in the books for Zaria Hercule so far. Hold is called against Edgewater's number 15, Tamara Outlaw. That's her first personal foul, the team's first. Mustangs will get the ball at the sideline. Driving the paint, Hercule. Not there, and we're going to get a held ball. Possession, Eagles. And I can see from looking at it there that we are having some stuttering issues with the camera. Next time we have a break in the action, we'll reset that for you, see if we can't get that a little smoother. Stolen by the Eagles, number 2, Destiny Pryor, and we're going to get a double dribble violation. Mustangs ball. Inbounds to number 10, Tiara Coleman. First time on the court against another team for a lot of these young ladies in the opening game of the season for the JV program. Moise takes the field goal attempt from under the basket. Can't get it self on the putback attempt. That's not going to go either. Ball stays with the Eagles. Foul is called against Mustangs number 15, Jana Beecham. Her first personal foul, the team's second. Second chance basket by Chantel Banks. Coach Russ tried to get a timeout in, but couldn't get it called in time. Basket scored by number 1, Seisha Moise, and we'll pause for a Mustang timeout. 30-second timeout requested by the Mustangs. All right, let's reset that camera for you, see if we can't get it a little smoother. You're going to see me for a second while we wait for the camera to reset. There we go, that's better. All right, we are back to live action here at Mustang Arena. 4.5 minutes to go. Eagles out to a 6-2 lead. No basket. Traveling. Eagles ball. Stolen under the basket by the Mustangs. Beach, and then it goes right back. Point stolen by Destiny Pryor. Three-point basket by Zaria Hercule. Another shot from the key. And this time it looks like a foul. Mustangs foul is called against number 21, Zaria Hercule. That's her second personal foul, the team's third. At the line, shooting 2 for the Eagles, number 1, Seisha Moise. Moise is 1 of 2 at the line. That'll give the Eagles a 9-5 lead. Tiara Coleman is fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against number 15, Tamara Outlaw. That's her second personal foul, the team's second. Stolen by the Mustangs, number 24. And run out of bounds by the Eagles. Three-point basket for Gianna Beecham. Three-point basket by Kimani Williams. Williams nearly takes it away from Coleman. Mustangs back in control. And I'm seeing here that we've got some challenges with the camera again. We're going to reset it one more time. When we get to the quarter break, we'll try a complete restart. Push is called against number 15, Janet Beecham. That's her second personal foul, the team's fourth. Back to live action. Moyes sets up the play for the Eagles. Mustangs will settle for a half-court set. Moyes trying to dance around Davis. Nearly loses the ball, gets it back. Nearly taken away by Boyd. Boyd gets a hand in on the shot that Banks took, and we'll see if that's what the foul was called. Looks like that's what it's going to be. Foul called against Mustangs number 24, Martrice Boyd. That's her first personal foul, the team's fifth. At the line, shooting two for the Eagles, number 10, Chantel Banks. Who got the last point then? All right, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Had some technical difficulties there. First of all, we had some confusion at the score table when the foul was called. That occurred right at the same time as the computer advised me that the power connection had come loose and its battery was dying. And so it restarted itself before I could get that taken care of. And so now we are back, but the computer needed to restart anyway. And hopefully that will clear up the jittery issues we were having with the camera earlier. So again, thanks for your patience. Very first game of the season, trying to get all the technology to cooperate with us. Mustang basket by Tiara Coleman. So we'll get this all straightened out before the varsity game. Checking into the game for the Eagles, number 10, Chantel Banks. Shot won't fall for Davis. Rebound to Pryor. Tries to take a dangerous pass down the court. Gets picked off by the Mustangs, then turned right back over to the Eagles, and we're going to get a foul. Saisha Moise draws the foul on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two for the Eagles. Mustang foul is called against number 12, Kamara Cameron. That's her first personal foul, the team's 7th. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome and encourage you to take all the pictures and video you like during tonight's game. However, we do ask that you please disable any flashes and video lighting for the safety of our players and the courtesy of those around you. Thank you. Coleman stops and pops, but it will not drop. And the rebound goes to Moise. Mustangs pick up the turnover out of bounds, trailing by 4. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the second period. And Mark Parchie, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you, and thanking you for your patience as we got some issues worked out with the live stream. On the other direction, and it's going to be Saisha Moise with the Eagles basket. Shot won't fall for the Mustangs. Rebound to Moise. A little too hot coming from three-point range by Beecham. Putback won't go for Moise. Excuse me, that was Banks. Outlaw for three again. That's not going to go. And the rebound this time falls to the Mustangs. Picked up there by Alasia Davis. Davis narrowly avoids the travel call. Can't get it to go. Can't get the putback either. And the rebound goes to Outlaw. 4-3, it's short for Moyes, picked up by Beecham. We'll go the other way. Beecham to the paint, gets the layup, and one. Gianna Beecham gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. Eagles foul is called against number 2, Destiny Pryor. That's her first personal foul and the team's 6th. Checking into the game for the Eagles, number 23. Foul shot does not count. There was a violation on the Mustangs. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Matrice Boyd. Three-point is well off the mark for Outlaw. It's going to bounce off the Mustangs, so it'll be a team offensive rebound for the Eagles, who lead 21-17 with just about half of the second period gone. Shot is blocked by Hercule, and she also picks up the rebound. Gets harassed in the backcourt, and the Eagles are going to pick up a foul. Push is called against Eagles. Number 2, Destiny Pryor, her second personal foul, the team's 7th, and the Eagles request a timeout. Full timeout called by Edgewater. And we'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back to Mustang Arena. We are now ready for the foul shots. At the line, shooting 1-on-1 bonus for the Mustangs, number 21, Zaria Hercule. She makes the first and earns herself a second. Second shot is a little off the mark. Rebound goes to Moyes. Stolen by Tiara Coleman. And we'll go back the other way. Crossing half court. Edgewater drops back into their half court set. Held ball, possession, Eagles. Foul is called against Eagles. Number 10, Chantel Banks, her first personal foul. The team's 8th. It puts, Tiara Coleman is called on the foul. Her first. The team's 7th, and that will put the Eagles into bonus. Saisha Moise will be at the line, shooting 1-1. Lane violation is called against the Mustangs. Still 1-1. Test. And that time, the shot finds its mark, and so that lane violation will prove costly. Shot is no good, but the Eagles managed to bounce it off the Mustangs, headed out, and so it'll stay on the Eagles side of the court. Under the basket, shot is blocked by number 15. Pryor takes the jumper, and that's going to roll out of bounds. Still coming off the foot of Alasia Davis, and so it stays Edgewater ball on the team offensive rebound. Stolen by the Mustangs. Traveling, Eagles ball. Mustangs starting to put on a little bit of full court pressure. Held ball, possession Mustangs. So that'll be a turnover there on the tie-up. Foul is called against number 1, Saisha Moise. Her first personal foul, the team's 8th at the line shooting for the Mustangs, Tiara Coleman. Second free throw won't fall. 2.5 minutes to go. Mustangs take the ball right away from Outlaw. Try to get the shot off, not there. Coach Russ wanted a layup. Coleman decides to take it outside and reset the play instead. Eagles trip is called against number 1, Saisha Moise. That's her second personal foul, the team's 9th. Checking into the game for the Eagles, Kimani Williams. At the line shooting 1-1 is Alasia Davis. The Mustangs request a timeout. 30-second timeout called by Wekiva. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Parchie, the voice of the Mustangs, here to finish out the second quarter with you. Just under 2 minutes remaining as the Mustangs called the timeout there. Coleman trying to find a way in. Doesn't have one. Passes to Davis. She takes the jumper. Nothing there. And Coleman manages to wrangle in the rebound almost to half court. She has a lane, goes for it, and draws a foul. This would be a shooting foul. Would have been 2 shots no matter what because it's also double bonus. Foul is called against Eagles, number 2, Destiny Pryor. That's her 3rd personal foul, the team's 10th. At the line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs, number 10, Tiara Coleman. And the first rolls in. That cuts the lead to 2. Mustangs have trailed the whole game, but now they cut the lead to 1. Little confusion at the baseline, and the Eagles nearly lose the ball to a 5-second inbounding violation. Beecham got in there, couldn't quite come up with it though, and we're going to get a foul. Tamara Outlaw draws the foul on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Eagles. The foul is called against Mustangs, number 11, Alasia Davis. That's her 2nd personal foul and the team's 9th. And that's the last time we're going to be shooting. Well, actually, we're going to shoot 2 this time anyway because it was shooting foul, but it's going to be double bonus both ways for the remainder of the half. That free throw will not fall. A double lane violation. That's the same as a held ball, so we'll look to the possession arrow, and the possession arrow favors the Eagles. Eagles basket by number 2, Destiny Pryor. Intercepted by Outlaw. She'll try to pop the 3. It's off the mark. Rebound and a contested putback. Putback and a chance for a 3-point play. Scored by Kamani Williams. She'll be at the line shooting 1. Mustang foul is called against number 11, Alasia Davis. It's her 3rd personal foul and the team's 10th. And everybody asleep at the wheel on that one. Emerson Self for 2. I don't know what was going on there. As Emerson Self was just standing there as the ball bounced to her. and everyone else just kind of watched it. Nothing happened for the Mustangs at the other end. Edgewater will come down as Hercule puts full court pressure. And Outlaw loses her dribble, out of bounds, Mustangs ball. 30 seconds to go in the second period. 7-point ball game. Mustangs had it as close as one a few moments ago. Inside pass looks good, and it's there. That is Tiara Coleman from Malaysia Davis for two. And that takes us to halftime. It's a 5-point ball game headed into the intermission. 28-23 is your score at the midpoint of the JV contest. And we'll be back in just a little bit, 10 minutes of halftime coming up here, and then we'll be back for the second half of the season opener of JV basketball action. 28-23, Edgewater leads at the break. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you as we get ready for the second half of the JV contest and the season opener. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the third period. And I want to welcome to the broadcast Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. He's here for the varsity game, but he's here early, so he'll help me out with the call of the second half here in the JV game as well. Welcome, Neil.
And thank you, Mark. Very exciting first half here for this junior varsity competition. We begin with a foul.
Foul is called against Eagles number 23, Emerson Self, on the block, her second personal foul. The team's first this half. Cheyenne Beecham will be at the line shooting two.
So Edgewater has led from start to finish. However, Wekiva has never allowed that score to get too far enough that they cannot catch up. Score now is 28-24, 10 seconds into the second half. As Beecham sinks both free throws, that makes it a 3-point game.
Mustangs had the lead as low as one about 2/3 of the way through the second quarter. Flying layup from Williams, not going to fall. Mustangs get the rebound, trying to score in transition, but take a dangerous pass, and Outlaw takes advantage of that, goes the other way. Eagles now trying to score in transition. Mustangs get there in time. They'll go back for the three, a little off the mark. The rebound goes to Davis.
And a steal, and the scoop shot does not go.
Yep, Williams can't get that one to fall. Coleman on the rebound. It's a no call from the officials.
Play continues. As Outlaw brings the ball up over half court, drops it into the middle. Outlaw unable to get the shot down.
Rebound goes to Moyes. She throws coast to coast and lobs it in on a soft play. Saisha Moyes for two.
And that will re-up the lead to 5 points, 25-30. So this is the season opener for both of these junior varsity games, of course, following our game. Approximately 15 minutes later, the varsity teams will take to the court.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 12, Kamara Cameron.
And no points on that possession for Wekiva. Edgewater with the opportunity to get the lead back up to 3 possessions early in the second half. That will not happen, a turnover.
Well, no, actually, they're going to call that a foul as Coleman gets tripped up there. Foul is called against Eagles number 1, Saisha Moyes. That's her third personal foul, the team's second this half. So foul trouble could come into play here. We've got Moyes with 3. Williams, Outlaw, and Self have 2 each that they racked up in the first half, although Self got one of those just now in the second half. And here comes another. No, excuse me, that was a turnover as Beecham lets the ball go out of bounds, Eagles ball.
So another opportunity for Wekiva to cut into that lead goes by the wayside. And the lead remains 32-25.
And this has kind of been the pace that we've seen the whole game so far, that Wekiva remains within striking distance, but the Eagles continue to frustrate them every time they get close to taking the lead. Their momentum kind of falls apart. Of course, again, for many of these young women, this is their first time ever playing on the court together against another opponent. They've had practices for a few weeks now, but this is their first competition, and most of these girls are new names that I do not recognize from last year, which is pretty common in JV. In a lot of cases, you'll see that JV players get promoted up to varsity to replace the graduating seniors. Some will attrit from the team. And if you look up and down the roster, these are a lot of new names. And so we'll see. I mean, Coach Russ has quite the legacy here at Wekiva of building really, really strong JV programs that become the feeder for Tommy Butts' perennial state powerhouse varsity team. We've seen the JV team at Wekiva go entire seasons with 0-1-2 losses. This year, it looks like is maybe not going to be quite that dominant for the JV team, but a Mustang foul is called against number 21, Zaria Hercule. That's her third personal foul. The team's first this half. Checking into the game for her, for the Mustangs, will be number 11, Alasia Davis.
Yeah, last week, Mark, of course, we broadcasted the preseason classic, the women's basketball preseason classic. It was the 9th annual, and we talked a lot about the new players. Wekiva half team placed 4 players who graduated back in May, and they were the winningest class in the history of the program, which is saying something when you consider what the other classes have done. 5 state Final Four trips in 8 years, so just for comparison's sake.
Saisha Moyes is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Mustangs number 11, Alasia Davis. That's her 4th personal foul, the team's 2nd this half.
And we kept talking, Mark, about the fact that these new players certainly look like they had the potential to step in, and Wekiva was not going to miss the proverbial beat. They won both games by a fairly convincing margin, taking early leads of double digits into the second half, as a matter of fact. And as you just mentioned, LaToya Russ is the one who's responsible for developing the skill set for those players to be able to step in for the graduating seniors. Being able to move from the junior varsity to the varsity levels, and then also being able to step in for the players who graduate.
Yeah, and I think so many people underestimate the value, or maybe not underestimate, but at least don't give adequate thought to the value of a strong JV program and how it really pays dividends indirectly in the quality of the varsity program.
As Coleman drives and she draws the foul.
Eagles foul called against number 15, Tamara Outlaw. That's her 3rd personal foul, the team's 3rd this half. At the line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs, Tiara Coleman.
And Coleman with 11 points. Wekiva trailing 30-25, 4:39 left in the 3rd quarter. This is the home opener, really the season opener actually for the Wekiva Mustangs junior varsity. And Coleman with the first free throw, unable to convert.
Checking into the game for the Eagles, number 2, Destiny Pryor.
Coleman with the 2nd free throw. This does not go either. Battle under the boards, goes out of bounds.
I'm going to say that's off Wekiva, so it'll be a team rebound for the Eagles. 4:37 to go here in the 3rd period. Thanks for joining us at Mustang Arena. This is our first of, I counted them, Neil, it's right about 50 live streams that we have planned for the winter season as we get a 3-point basket by Destiny Pryor.
And that's a big 3-pointer for Edgewater. Increases the lead to 8. 3 possessions, 4:19 left in the 3rd quarter. Coleman brings the ball up over half court, gives it into the painter to Beecham, who spins, can't get the bank. And one of the Edgewater players comes down after some hassle from the Edgewater defense, gets the ball out. And Edgewater goes to work. Very quick drive-in layup by Moyes.
Saisha Moyes on the Eagles layup. Neil, I think that was too easy. I need credit to Moyes for taking advantage of the situation and seeing it, but she was left wide open there by the Mustang defense. On the other end, an equally open play, and Tiara Coleman has the Mustangs layup, and will pause for a Wekiva timeout. Full timeout requested by the Mustangs.
And when we return, the Eagles will be working with a 35-27 lead, 3:37 left in the 3rd quarter, the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. Gymnasium. Neil Fisher, Mark Bartsey, 3:37 left in the third quarter, a 35-27 lead being held by Edgewater. The season opener for the Wekiva Mustangs junior varsity. And of course, stick around, varsity will take place about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this contest. Drive right up the middle by Kamani Williams. Cannot get a good recovery defense by Wekiva, but too long a pass on the other end. And Edgewater will go back to work. Inbound from Williams to Moise, who scored the last points. Usually that was Williams taking the inbound pass. Now Moise, number 1, has the ball at the top. Loose ball picked up by Pryor. Three-pointer no good. And a whistle.
Looks like it's going to be an Edgewater foul. Push is called against Eagles number 5, Kamani Williams. That's her third personal foul, the team's 4th this half. Mustangs ball at their own baseline.
Wekiva in the gray, primarily gray uniforms with the white stripes on the sides and up top. Edgewater wearing the red and white uniforms, their traditional colors. That's Wekiva taking the shot.
Coleman is wide left, gets her own rebound, and it falls. Tiara Coleman on the putback.
Edgewater bringing the ball up. Moise over to Pryor, who's going to drive the lane.
Too hot coming in, and the rebound goes to Zaria Hercule.
Quick pass up the court for Wekiva. Now they will reset the offense.
It's picked off by Williams, who then dumps it right back to Coleman. Coleman drives in for the shot in the paint, can't get itself on the rebound. Oh, she thought about it. Pryor wanted to go for the transition play, but then she does something that has all the same effect as Martrice Boyd. Comes in there and gets the steal, and Coach Russ immediately calls timeout. Mustangs request a full timeout, their penultimate timeout of the JV contest. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi and Neil Fisher here with you as we come back to live action with about 2 minutes and change left in the third quarter. We're going to get a Mustang shot from the key, and that is Gianna Beecham picking up 2 for Wekiva.
Cuts the lead, the Edgewater lead, to 35-31. This is the closest Wekiva has been in the second half.
Yeah, Neil, we keep seeing that rubber band going back and forth on the momentum between these two teams. Scoring differential varying between 3 and 8 points usually. Neither team able to establish a run of more than about 2 consecutive baskets.
And it looked like we were going to have a turnover for Wekiva, but Edgewater able to retrieve.
Offensive rebound not going to help on the putback, and the Eagles have to chase it out of bounds. It'll be Mustangs ball, but you can see the coach there is still happy about that. Even though she didn't get any points out of that play, that's something that makes you happy as a coach when you see your players hustling for those offensive rebounds and getting as many chances, good high percentage chances as you can at the basket.
This is the junior varsity contest. as a swing moves down on the baseline, score it.
Gianna Beecham and one.
Beecham with the basket in, draws the foul.
Destiny Pryor called with her fourth personal foul, the team's fifth. Checking into the game for the Mustangs will be number 12, Chimera Cameron. Beecham shooting one.
Beecham with 13 points. And of course a 35-33 lead, looking to cut the lead down to one. And she will not, but a strong rebound. And the battle continues underneath. Wekiva unable to convert into points. And now Edgewater looking to re-extend their lead.
Oh, we got some glasses down on the floor.
This is the closest Wekiva has been in the second half. 1:14 remaining in the third quarter. 35-33 is the score. Edgewater in the lead. Season opener for the junior varsity teams. Of course, last week the varsity team took to the court for the first time. The preseason classic, Wekiva netted 2 victories, fairly convincing victories. And now as we approach 1 minute in the third quarter.
Of course, the preseason classic being a varsity-only event, we didn't get to see the JV team last week. And that is going to be a no call. And so credit Cameron for getting the block and also bouncing it off of Edgewater to get possession on the team rebound as well.
And I also wanted to bring up the preseason classic, the varsity, because you mentioned the offensive rebounding. Coach Butts talked about how important that was. I spoke to him before the contest began, and he spoke about how important offensive rebounding was to both teams, as well as the varsity team needing to improve.
Akira Leach is called on her first personal foul, the team's 6th. And the Eagles request a timeout. Full timeout called by Edgewater. And so we'll take the break with them. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 45.3 seconds remaining as the Eagles spend one of their timeouts. That leaves Edgewater with 3 timeouts remaining. Coach Russ has 1 timeout left for the Mustangs. And a quick spin move, and Gianna Beecham has 2 for the Mustangs.
And guess what? We are tied, Mark.
Yeah, it's a new ball game after all that.
What was an 8-point lead has shrunk, evaporated for Edgewater, and Wekiva's actually got an opportunity to take a lead.
Well, they did until Williams stole the dribble. Nobody in front of her, got an open path. Can she get it to go? Yes, she does. Kimani Williams steals 2 for the Eagles.
And with 17 seconds, Edgewater goes back into the lead. However, Wekiva does have the opportunity for the last shot.
Good look, although she probably could have taken a dribble there in the paint and gotten a better angle than the lob. And that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Mustangs had the game tied for a moment, but they will go into the fourth quarter with a 2-point deficit, a 1-possession ball game. 37-35 is the score, with 1 period left to play here in the JV season opener.
And we return to Mustang Gymnasium for the start of the fourth quarter. Wekiva tied the score up late, 35-35, but Edgewater ended that fourth quarter with a bucket, so they take the 37-35 lead into the fourth quarter. Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi. And this is junior varsity action. Stick around. After this game, the varsity teams will take to the court, the season openers for both.
Yeah, and the varsity game, if you look at last season, was an 87-17 win for Wekiva. So we'll have to see what all has happened to Edgewater in the intervening year. Of course, we know what's happened to Wekiva. They did lose some very key talent to graduation, but they looked good in the preseason classic last week.
Yeah, 2 contests, 2 convincing victories.
Including one against a defending state finalist.
Class 2A City of Life. And both those games, Wekiva took the early lead. They got the lead up to double digits within half of the first quarter and never looked back. And we have a whistle stoppage.
So as much as the Mustangs miss the likes of people like Mayanna Garrett and Sadeja Payne and some of the greats that have graced this arena, they've got a lot of up-and-coming talent in the wings. We saw Rylan Moffitt made her debut last week for the Mustangs.
Along with Jayla Eads.
Yep, Eads was the leading scorer, brand new to the team, coming in as a direct-to-varsity freshman, and then coming in and leading the team in scoring. And you just have to imagine if she's doing that in her very first high school game ever, what is she going to look like by the time she's a senior? I mean, you can hardly imagine the talent that has the potential to develop there, and she could easily lead the Mustangs to state title games.
Yeah, and of course, as you mentioned, Rylan Moffitt transferring over to Wekiva certainly makes for a strong 1-2 combination. And also want to talk about Kanari Holiday. I was quite impressed with her work under the boards. Of course, every team needs a good, strong rebounder. Doesn't matter how good your shooters are, how high that percentage is, if you can't get the ball to them. So that's where your rebounders come into effect. And certainly Kanari added some points as well. I know she added 11 points in the second game. Certainly not the high score, but 11 points that provide some distance, some breathing room for Wekiva.
Then you had Shadaria Smith, who was on the varsity team last year, but did not see nearly as many minutes as she will likely see this year. Mustangs and Coach Butts are definitely looking for her to make an impact in this season that maybe we didn't get to see as much from her off of the bench last year.
Yeah, and of course, also as we get a steal and easy basket, should be an easy basket, does not go in. That's Beecham with the steal and the missed opportunity. Score remains 37-35 as clock dips under 6 minutes. And so Wekiva is still looking to tie. They will not do it this time. Another turnover, bad pass, interception down at the other end. Drop the bucket in. The foul is called.
No basket, traveling.
Okay.
Mustangs ball.
Okay, well, you heard Mark. It actually was a turnover, so the basket does not count. The score remains 37-35.
A little bit of confusion here for the Eagles. They're trying to figure out personnel. They can get the right 5 people on the court.
And Mark, also want to talk about another player, Shania McCarthy. You mentioned Shadaria she will be getting some more time this season. Of course, she is the lone returning senior who was a part of the main rotation last season. And Shania McCarthy, a player who actually was a member of the varsity team her freshman season.
Tiara Coleman is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against Edgewater's number 15, Tamara Outlaw. That's her 4th personal foul, the team's 7th.
Begins the season, Shania McCarthy transitioning from being the 6th man to a member of the starting lineup.
Yeah, and another player I want to call attention to, Madeline Tuzet, who was a varsity player last year, continues on varsity this year. And while she is not usually a member of the starting lineup, she provides a lot of glue and cohesion for the bench. She provides continuity when the starting lineup needs relief, and she holds things together nicely when she gets minutes.
Second free throw for Coleman good. She has 16 points, and we are tied at 37, 5:33 left in the ball game. Edgewater had the lead for most of the ball game till about, well, throughout the first half, the lead never dipped below 4, never got to more than, I believe, 10.
Well, there was a moment right around half to 2/3 of the way through the second quarter where Wekiva had it down to 1.
Okay. So for the most part, that lead remained in
Nice
Edgewater.
pass, opportunity to take the lead, and they do. Go-ahead basket by Alasia Davis from Tiara Coleman.
And so the lead throughout that first half remained, for the most part, multiple possessions for Edgewater. Wekiva slowly whittled it away in the third quarter, created a couple ties at the end of the third quarter, and now they take the first lead of the ball game.
Saisha Moyes on the Eagles layup, and we are tied once again.
Edgewater answering, 39-39, 4:50 left in the ball game. Season opener for both of these junior varsity teams, those teams being Edgewater and Wekiva. Edgewater wearing their traditional red and white uniforms. No good from Coleman. The rebound.
Second chance basket's not going to go either. Third chance basket won't go.
Gonna
Fourth
get a
chance
fourth
basket.
chance.
There it is. And on the fourth opportunity, Tiara Coleman on the Mustang jumper. That retakes the lead for Wekiva. We'll pause for a timeout.
Coach Russ calling the timeout immediately, wants to set the defense. 4:22 remaining, and the strength of offensive rebounding coming to the forefront. 41-39 is your score as we take a break.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher as we get going with the last 4 minutes and change of the JV contest. It's been a close one, Neil, and certainly we see the early season jitters of JV programs. This is not exactly WNBA basketball, but we also see these teams overcoming adversity, staying in it, and getting some good experience that'll serve them well for the rest of the season. This has been a close one that's been back and forth the whole time, and Wekiva now holds a lead for the second time all game.
Looking to extend their lead to the largest of the game. That will not happen, though.
Now Coleman is called here for traveling. Eagles ball. Started walking before she started dribbling.
Again, junior varsity, you got to learn. And one of those issues is make sure that you got the ball. Don't try to put the ball in the basket until you actually get to the basket.
Right, and keep in mind that for the vast majority of these young ladies, if not all of them, this is their very first time on the high school stage.
Yeah, not just, you mentioned in the first half, the third quarter, that neither of these teams have had a lot. This is the first time playing together. First time either of these teams have played together as a team against another team, but this is also the first time either of these schools have played on a varsity court, a high school court, against an actual opponent.
Mustang basket scored by number 11, Alasia Davis.
And the score is now 43-39, actually 43-41 with that
Answered
basket.
by Saisha Moyes of the Eagles.
3 minutes left. Again, score is 43-45. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi bringing you the action from Mustang Gymnasium.
And as we mentioned earlier, this is the first, well, not counting the preseason classic, this is the first of about 50 live streams that we have scheduled for basketball and soccer. We're still waiting for the final schedule to come out for wrestling. I actually have the tentative schedule of home events for wrestling. That should complete the set of all of the things that happen on campus here between now and February.
And also, remember, this is the first, neither of these teams had an opportunity to play last week. The varsity teams did play in the preseason classic, but that's varsity only, no junior varsity. 2:15 left. Coleman with the dribble. She tries to go between the double team, and the ball is stolen and laid in.
Layup by Edgewater's Kimani Williams.
And we are tied 43-43, 2 minutes left. We are live from Mustang Gymnasium.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Neil, this is the very first time that most, if not all, of these girls have been on the high school arena court in a live game. Many of them very likely did play in middle school. Some of them may be new to the sport entirely. But this will be their first opportunity since we don't do preseason for the sub-varsity level. And so this is their first time at on the stage in this level. And we're seeing, like, as you mentioned, there's some kinks to work out, some first game jitters, but we've also seen some beautiful moves like we just saw there from Kimani Williams with the steal and then coast to coast to steal the layup. That's picture perfect.
And on the other end, Tiara Coleman cannot get the layup. She dribbled the ball left wing for about 30 seconds before making the move, and now a whistle.
Yeah, I don't think Kimani Williams heard the whistle. She was still playing.
Yeah, there were 4 players down at the Edgewater or the Wekiva end, the end where Edgewater scores. It will be a turnover.
Foul is called against Gianna Beecham. That's her 4th personal foul, the team's 4th as well.
Actually, is not a turnover. Edgewater and a block.
No, it's not going to be a block. They're going to call it a tie-up.
Okay.
Held ball, possession, Eagles.
So ball remains with the Eagles. The good news, though, with 1:10 left and a score of 43-43 is Wekiva does get the possession on the next jump ball. Ball again goes out of bounds. 1:06 left now. The regular season opener for the varsity team follows us. Of course, Edgewater will be providing the opposition. 1 minute left, 43-43. A whistle and some scrapping going on under the referee.
Held ball, possession Mustangs. So that'll be a turnover for Edgewater. First we'll have a little personnel switch up.
And that's Kamara Cameron, who's going to be inbounding the ball. Actually, excuse me, that
Martrice Boyd checks into the game for the Mustangs.
That'll be Matrice Boyd inbounding the ball. She came in replace of during the switch there. And now
under
Coleman,
a minute now, so this is going to be a photo finish.
Coleman with the dribble, extended left wing. And it looks like she's going to take as much time off the clock as she can. No. Yes, she's going to take the dribble.
She's
off
got
the
it.
bank.
Go-ahead basket by Tiara Coleman.
Off the bank, and Wekiva 45-43, under 30 seconds. The drive for
Offensive
Williams.
rebounds to the Eagles. Put up again. Another offensive board for Moyes. Russ calling for a 3-second call. Not going to get it. And Moyes gets the rebound again and gets it back out to Self. Under 10 seconds to play.
Last shot, Edgewater with the opportunity. There it is, off the heel. A second opportunity. No, rebound by Boyd.
That takes us to the end of the ball game after trailing for most of the game. The Mustangs come ahead and hold the lead for the last few seconds. And boy, we were treated to a thriller in the season opener for the JV contest.
And also, boy, Coach Russ looks like a genius. She put in Matrice Boyd there during that last stoppage. And, of course, Boyd got the rebound, which secured the victory as the buzzer went to 0, as the clock went to 0. So, Your final score, 45-43. Wekiva wins the season opener over Edgewater. Stick around. In about 15 minutes, the varsity teams will take to the court for their regular season openers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out tonight or for tuning in online on our YouTube or NFHS network channel to support your Mustang and Eagles athletes. Don't go anywhere. Varsity basketball action coming your way right after warm-up period. For those of you on the webcast, please note that the JV and the varsity contests are two separate live streams, but they are on the same channel. So just jump back to the menu, and we will meet you in about 15 or 20 minutes for the varsity game.